things like what happened here to Berlinda will happen to you. You will walk amongst a crowd of white folks who are just angry and upset at what's going on here in the country, and then you will be the public enemy number one, and they'll look for any reason they can to attack you, and then there you go. So as I said, so you can see here, so on the top right, I guess, you know, those must have been some of the bystanders that was like, "You all right?" and try to help her out. She's like, "I can't see, my eyes, they maced me, whatever." And then, you know, they helped her out. You know, that's the small handful of white people who are not evil. That's the small handful of white people who are not Confederate terrorists. These are just your fellow American people who believe that, you know, everyone is created equal, so on and so forth. So like I said, for YouTube, because YouTube love to try to find some type of way to try to say, oh, he's teaching hate speech. No, I'm not teaching hate speech. As you can clearly see, she's getting attacked. This actually happened. She jumped into a crowd of white folks, what they said was Trump supporters. It doesn't matter what kind of supporters they are. You can clearly see these are white people here in the video. Right here on film is footage. Right here is actual facts that these are white people who are attacking this black woman right here. That's an actual white man. You can see the arm. It's a white dude socking her. You can see that there's a white dude holding her so she can't escape. You can clearly see that. So if I say that these are white people attacking this woman, don't try to turn around and flip the script and say that I'm teaching hate speech when I'm just teaching what actually occurred during that time on that day. So I'm just wanting to get that out for the record, okay? And people say, well, that's her fault. She shouldn't have been out there. She shouldn't have been out there. Well, all I can say is, you have so many black people who they don't understand. They don't know the history of what occurred in this country. They don't know that they're public enemy number one until they get stuck in traffic and get caught in an event like this here, and then they're screaming and they're crying because they want somebody to help them, because they can't believe this just happened to them. And if they did their homework and they understood the history and understood what their foremothers and their forefathers had went through in this country, they would not, best believe they wouldn't that wouldn't happen to them. And like I said, the police officers don't care about black men or women, because like I said, when Berlinda was getting attacked by that crowd, that angry crowd, the white mob, the police were right there the whole time. They didn't intervene. They didn't stop it. They were literally right there watching everything. Black men and black women understand that the police officers are not here to protect you, okay? They're not here to protect you. They don't have no love for you, and they don't care about you at all whatsoever. Just a couple weeks ago, a sister was, I think she's like a high school student. She's just a young girl. You know, she got slammed. The police officer wanted to detain her. He could have tripped her up and just, you know, got her on the ground and just simply handcuffed her, and that would have been the end of that. But instead, he slammed her on her head like fucking Hulk Hogan, bro. He picked her up and slammed her on her head like she was a man, and when he slammed her on her head, boom, she was immediately knocked out. I'm sorry, I can't think of the sister's name right now, but this actually occurred this year, not too long ago. So once again, black men, black women here in America, you must understand that you are public enemy number one. You can actually call the police and ask the police to come and help you, and they'll show up to the scene and they'll still smoke you. Okay, so like I said, so if I go back to you guys and show you guys real quick one more time, you see the sister right here. You got the Confederate flag dude, the white dude, the Confederate flag terrorist. He represents the terrorists and all the demonic actions that occurred to us. And you had the sister who came out of her way, who stepped out of her way. She loved white people so much, and she was just like, oh, don't do it, don't hurt them, stop, don't hurt them, stop. But then when it came down, when it was the opposite way, the police officer sat there and watched her get beat up. They watched Berlinda get beat up. They watched Berlinda get maced. They watched Berlinda get grabbed. They watched Berlinda get socked up, and they didn't do nothing at all whatsoever. Okay? So you got to understand that you are public enemy number one. African American men, African American women, so-called blacks, they do not like you. Okay, understand that. The police officer slammed the sister on her head. She's a woman. Why did you have to slam her with so much force? I've even seen a police officer do the same thing to a pregnant sister. You understand me? So understand and know what's going on. You can't let your guard down, black man, black woman. You have to understand and know the history of this country, of this nation, and know. So therefore, you won't be getting slammed on your head like that. You know what I'm saying? And rest in peace. There is another sister. I did a show on her on one of my other channels, and they took it down. They dismissed the whole channel because, like I said, YouTube don't like me, bro. YouTube hates me, bro. They hates the fact that I have the knowledge to present to you. Okay, I present this type of knowledge to my family all day, every day. But then when I get on YouTube and do it, and I do a slideshow presentation to show you guys the actual facts to back up, the actual evidence to back up what I'm speaking, YouTube loves the Confederates, bro. YouTube want to protect the Confederates and demonic terrorists. They love them, so they want to protect them. So therefore, when I put them on blast, they take my channel and they pull it down. So I'm gonna just keep going. I don't want to. I'm pretty sure you guys get where I'm going with that. I shouldn't have to keep explaining that to you. I just want you guys to know that when you watch this video and understand what's going on, don't be surprised that within a week or two it's gone. This is another a sister, Tamla Horsford. Tamla Horsford, I think it was this happened going on 3 years ago. She left the house. She left her son and her husband and her sons behind to go hang out and do a little sleepover with some of her white homegirls. You look at this photo, it seems like it was a cool little, nice little, peaceful little get together. They was all chilling. This took place out in Georgia. They were just out there chilling or whatever. They invited her, she came. And everything seemed fine and dandy until them white boys showed up. Some white Ku Klux Klan Confederates showed up. Because, like I said, in Georgia was one of the states out of the 14 that I mentioned to you earlier where slavery occurred. Georgia is well known for being racist. Okay? So let's not act like it's not racist down there. And unfortunately, Tammy is another sister who is emotionally in love with these white folks, and it's hard to tell what white person is a Confederate and what white person isn't. You won't be able to just tell unless they got some tattoos, or you could be able to read them. You have to actually be taught. You have to be educated and to be able to see the signs on what white person represent and love Confederate history and love the terrorism and the demonic rituals and the torture and the rape and the pedophilia that occurred to people with no apology. You have a lot of those people still here in America, but then you have some of those who love everyone. You got white folks who are just cool white people. They're not racist. They don't believe in any form of racism, and they just want to treat everyone as equals. So for Tamla, she showed up at the party, with her homegirls. Come on by, girl. Yeah, come on by. So she went. Her husband was like, babe, you sure you want to go? She was like, yeah, I'll be all right. So she went. Everything seemed cool until the Confederate flag, the Confederate boys showed up. The Confederate boys showed up and they started beating her up. Who's this nigger bitch? Who's this nigger bitch? And then, the sisters, one thing about African American sisters, they are really bold. I give it to them. Our African American sisters are really bold. They will fight to the death, bro. You know what I'm saying? They will go head up and they will fight to the death. As you can see here, let me go back real quick. I'm going to show you real quick. You see the sister. You see, if you can see her, when they was attacking her, you see her, she's sticking her nails all in that white boy's face. You see it? Look. Let me see if I can show you. I'm just zoom in. I don't know if you can see it, but that's her arm right there. You see her, you see the wig being all flossed and tossed all over everywhere. But you see her little black arm, and she's actually got her nails and shit all in that white boy's face. Because like I said, the sisters will fight, bro. Don't get it twisted. The sisters will fight. They ain't scared. They'll go head up. They'll fight about theirs, but unfortunately, you can't win every battle. And in a situation like this with Tamla, she was fighting the white dudes, and they beat her up, and they killed her, fam. And then she died, and then the next morning, she was found dead in the backyard, and they tried to say she fell off the balcony, but the autopsy showed that she had bruises and skull fractures and so on and so forth. So she was attacked, but this case is unfortunately going cold because the police officers, the Justice Department, and those guys are Confederate flag holders. They represent the Confederate flag. They love the history of the Confederate flag. They represent the terrorist, demonic, white terrorists. They represent the history. They're unapologetically Confederate flag lovers. They love the history. They don't look at you as a human. Cause like I said, I just told you, the Confederate flags, demonic terrorists in the South don't look at black people as human beings. So when that shit had happened to Tamla, she didn't get no justice. Long story short, she didn't get no justice, bro. And like I said, in America, especially in the South, Our brothers and sisters must understand that you are public enemy number one. In America, they do not like you, do not love you, never have and never will. Okay? Never have and never will. And it's unfortunate because it's always our sisters. You got some brothers too. They be cooned out. But you got our sisters. They just fall in love with the European. They just love them, bro. You got some black dudes that love them too. So I'm not going to play the sexist, be sexist and make it seem like it's always just the sisters, because you got some brothers who could put in the same predicament as these sisters. So just know that. All right. Now, unfortunately, you know, when it comes down to like a brother like myself, you know, you got brothers like me who try to teach my brothers and teach my sisters and teach the children the truth behind the history of America, so you can understand and know what battles that you are facing when you leave your house. And this is just a quick little skit. You know, the brother and the sister, they just don't get along. You know, you try to tell the sister something, you try to tell her, hey, you should do this or you should do that. She's like, I don't want to hear it, you can't tell me nothing. I don't want to hear it, you can't tell me nothing. Our sisters be so strong-minded, you try to teach them something, you can't tell them shit, bro. And it upsets you, you know what I'm saying? You see the brother in the back, he got his hands crossed, he's mad because he's trying to get through to her. She's like, get out of my face, I don't want to hear it, you can't tell me nothing. And that's the problem with our sisters today. You just really can't tell them shit, bro. You try, you can't tell them shit. You know what I'm saying? And they wind up getting scuffed out like old girl. You know, here's another one. You got a brother trying to tell her, hey, you know what I'm saying, let's try to save some money. Let's quit spending money with these crackers. You know what I'm saying? Let's quit spending money with these Asians and these motherfuckers who don't like us. Let's quit spending money with them. And let's try to save up some money and, you know, get up out of here or whatever and go to Africa and go do our own thing and go live with people amongst us. You know, and then you got her, I'm not going to Africa. I'm not hearing that. I don't want to go to Africa. I don't want to leave. I like what I buy. I'm gonna buy this anyway. I'm gonna go to the Koreans and go get my hair done. I'm gonna go to the Koreans and go get my nails done. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. And that's the mentality. That's why it's so hard for us to get through to one another, because, like I said, we have a mentality where sisters have a mentality where they don't have to listen to the brothers, bro. Like, I don't know if they feel like we're not man enough for them, or I don't know what the issue is, but, you know, it's extremely frustrating because you got brothers who we love our sisters, but it's just extremely hard to get through to them sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And so when that happens, and, you know, sometimes brothers just give up. You know, a brother might feel like, well, fuck it, I'm not getting through to her. Maybe it's just me, or maybe I just can't do it. Maybe, you know, they fall all the way out of love with the sisters. You know what I'm saying? Fall completely out of love with the sisters, and then that's when you got the mixed race couples come in. You got mixed race couples, and then you got biracial babies, all because of that. You know what I'm saying? So here's an example. So like I said, I'm gonna speed it up. I'm gonna just try to make a point and get this over with, because I know it's Sunday. You guys got a huge day ahead of you, but I'm gonna just speed it up. So this is a picture of a couple. You know, you can tell the young lady to your left, she's like an Indian of Indian descent. You know, so you can't say she's black, although she may look. I mean, as far as her skin, you know, you can tell she has a melanin complexion, but in order for you to be considered black, quote unquote, so-called black, you must fall within the history of what occurred here in America to be considered black. We all have African descent. We all have some African in us somewhere, somehow. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, in order for you to consider yourself black, you have to have some type of foremothers or forefathers here in this land that was African descendant of slavery that took place here in America. Okay, they was being raped and molested, being hung and being tortured and being and forced to be witness to terrorism that occurred, was terrorized by these Confederate flag maggots in the South. Okay, so and then you overcome that. So then years go by, we've overcome it, and then here we are today. That's black. That's you. If you can identify with the culture and the story and the history of that, then you can call yourself black. Black is not a race; it's just a culture. People don't understand the difference. There is no nationality behind labeling yourself black. It's not a nationality; it's a culture. Okay. So as you can see, the young lady on your left, she's like some South Asian descent, which is more Indian type of descent, and then you got the brother to your right, and he's from Jamaica. He from the Jamaican Caribbean islands, and like I said when I showed you guys in the beginning, where the slave route where the slave ships had went, you can clearly see that during that time, you know, whether slavery had occurred,